this song is for you. You can't wear it on your chest, but you can feel it in your heart. And I hope it brings you comfort when this world grows dark. Let it echo through the madness, let the message pull you through. This is our medal of honor to you.
Now back to Armed Forces Weekly with Donna Lyons on TSPN.
Welcome back. I am thrilled to have my first guest ever on the show, Patrick Henry. Patrick, thank you for being here so much.
Thank you,
Patrick
Donna.
has quite a story to tell. Can you tell everybody about your background in Vietnam real quickly?
I went into the Army straight out of high school and I enlisted, so I spent 33 months in active duty on a 3-year enlistment, and went through all the training, and I went through what's called Shake and Bake School, which is instant NCO training. Then I went to Germany for a tour, and after that I came home for 2 weeks and then went to Vietnam in 1969 and stayed there for a year. And luckily I left there on my own 2 feet in 1970, December 1970. And came home and did 6 months more active duty before I left the Army early to go to college. And I started a 9-year collegiate career.
Did you? Good for you. At least you had something to fall back on.
Right, and it was important to me to go into college. And when I returned home, I didn't want much to do with people or public speaking, so I went through a lot of different subjects and majors in college, and I ended up getting a degree in sociology and psychology.
Wow, good for you.
And I kind of got into Veterans Affairs in my senior year at Sonoma State University, and I was working for an organization in Santa Rosa, California called Flower the Dragon. And as it started as an intern, as a volunteer intern, then later got hired as a staff member and stayed on through my graduation until I relocated up to El Dorado County in 1980.
And is that about the time that you started getting involved real heavily with the VA hospitals? Because I know that's what you're doing out here in Sacramento.
Let's see. I got involved real heavily with the VA hospitals in 1994 when I came down with the onset of diabetes. And I spent a month in a hospital up here in the local Amador County hospital in and out of diabetic coma. And so I was real sick, and when I got out, I couldn't afford medical care. So I once again got involved with the VA hospital. And it's grown since then, since 1996. Now I spend at least a couple of days a week at the VA hospital in Sacramento, mostly as a volunteer, but I'm also a patient there. And my diabetes is fairly well under control.
Good, that's good to know,
and, I'm pretty healthy, and I enjoy life, and I try and give back as much as I can.
That's wonderful. We love people like you in the community. It's important for all of us to give as much as we can, even if it's a little bit, and to bring awareness to other organizations that are out there for our veterans. Now, you are completely involved with something that is just amazing to me, and it's freeing a POW that's in Afghanistan right now. Can you tell us first about him? Okay.
Well, Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl was captured on June 30th in 2009 in northern Afghanistan. He was picked off at the end of a patrol, and he's been held captive at this point for 46 months. And the Afghani Taliban had him for a while, and they've traded him off now to one of their other terrorist organizations in Pakistan, the Haqqani.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out.
We're trying to figure out how to pronounce it. It's a QQ, ANI, terrorist organization, and they want to trade him for some Afghan POWs, some that are held in Afghanistan prison, and maybe a couple that are held in Guantanamo. We're not quite sure where they're being held. They started off wanting 21 prisoners and $5 million, and now they're down to the point where they'd be willing to trade them just straight across for 5 prisoners, which to me sounds like a great deal.
Yeah,
At one point,
well,
Israel traded 250 Egyptian prisoners for 1 Israeli soldier. So it's
Right.
a matter of how much value America puts on 1 American soldier.
Correct. And then now tell me about the organization that you're working with. What are they doing?
Okay,
task force, yeah.
Task Force Omega is a nationwide organization. They have 9 chapters in the country. The headquarters chapter is in Arizona, and I belong to Task Force Omega of Kentucky because I met up with organizers there on one of my rides across country, and I know the director back there personally, and so Task Force Omega of Kentucky is spearheading the organization to try and bring public awareness to the fact that Bo Bergdahl, and his name is spelled Bergdahl,
Right.
and he's from Haley, Idaho, which is up by Sun Valley. And so, and his parents still live there, and his sister is married to someone in the service. I can't talk about his
Right.
service or anything, but so his family comes from a long line of service.
Right.
And he grew up, just kind of a typical Idaho farm boy, except when he got into high school, he took ballet lessons.
Oh.
Because he figured out that's where the girls were. This is a story his mother tells. That's where the girls were. So in addition to dirt bike riding and hunting and fishing and all that stuff, he took ballet lessons and became a modern dancer. But he knew that things weren't happening in Haley, Idaho, and he had a patriotic fervor, and he decided to join the Army. And I've showed you a picture of him,
Right.
what it looked like for him in captivity. He did escape once in September of 2012, and he was out for two nights and 3 days, and he couldn't get any help from the local people because they're scared to death of the
Right.
terrorists there. Well, what we call terrorists, they call them occupiers or whatever.
Right.
Their government. So, so currently, his congressman, Bo's parents are Bob and Jenny, Jeni, excuse me, and they've been working with their congressman up in Idaho, Mike Simpson, to try and bring some awareness in Congress about this. And I'm happy to say that right now the U.S. Senate has a bill. It's a Senate resolution, and I've got it's Senate Resolution 109, and it's been brought forth by Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, and they've got some co-sponsors on the bill. Senator Casey and Mitch McConnell have co-sponsored the bill for him, and they're trying to get as many co-sponsors in the Senate as they possibly can. So we have, each state has 2 senators. In California, we have Senator Feinstein and Boxer.
Right.
And
are they working on this as well?
I haven't heard anything from them. Barbara Boxer is on Senate Affairs committees, and I receive emails from her, and I write back. I haven't received any personal information from her or any confirmations that she's received any of my mails.
If somebody would like to help out, what kind of information can they look for on the internet, or is there a number they can call to be part of this organization to help spread the word?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, Task Force Omega has 9 chapters nationwide. The headquarters chapter is in Glendale, Arizona, and their phone number is area code 623-979-5651, 5651, and that's the headquarters chapter. The TFO Kentucky, whose director is Danny Belcher, and he was an infantry sergeant in Vietnam.
Right.
Their number is 859-585-5651. 5188. And you can also look on the internet, Task Force Omega, and it'll lead you right to their websites, and there's mountains of information on the internet about them.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for doing that. We are going to go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, I want the viewers to know all about your work with the Veteran Hospital here in Sacramento and what other people can do, but I want to tell people about the ride you make to the wall in Washington, D.C., and reading the names.
Okay.
So we will be right back. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we have more with Patrick Henry.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.
Welcome back. And we are running out of time, so I want Patrick, he's going to have to come back and tell us other stories, which we'd love to have you back and do again.
Yeah.
Tell me about the event that's coming up that's really important to the city, right?
Yeah, there's a Veterans Medical Outreach is happening this Thursday at the American Legion Hall on Airport Road in Jackson, and it'll be from 10 to 3 in the afternoon. And the VA is bringing up medical technicians. There's supposed to be some doctors there. You can contact Terry Sanders up at the American Legion Hall at 267-5764 for information about that, but that's May 2nd. And then also on May 9th is a brand new Veterans Collaborative organization starting for Amador, Calaveras, Tuolumne counties. And it's going to be here in Jackson on May 9th at 10 to noon at 975 Broadway in Jackson. And I just found out about this today from Kimmy Ezeki of the California Veterans Affairs, who's organizing the medical outreach. But the other thing, I spoke about meeting up with Greasy Belcher in Kentucky, and every year in May, this is the 25th year that Run for the Wall has started in California, and it leaves Southern California on May 13th this year, and it's a 9-day ride across America to Washington, D.C. for Memorial Day. And while they're in D.C. and on Memorial Day, veterans that feel inclined can go up and spend 15 minutes reading names off the wall. There's 58,000, more than 58,000 names on the wall, and there's so many amazing stories and figures about that. Of those 58,000, over 30,000 of them are 18-year-olds.
I know. It's just, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. And those are all lost brothers and sisters of mine. There are female names on the wall, too. They're American women died in Vietnam. So it's important to remember all of our veterans.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you very much. And I appreciate everything that you have sacrificed for our country and what you have done.
Thank you.
I also want to thank the American Legion 108 here in town for letting us use their beautiful flags from each service. It's incredible. Al Lennox, and also Lucas Hogue, the country singer. If you listen to the music when we come in and out of our show and when we come back from breaks and you see all those beautiful photos, that is country singer Lucas Hogue, and he wrote and sings that song. It's called Medal of Honor, and if you want any information on Lucas Hogue, it's lucashogue.com, H-O-G-E. And if you have any ideas or would like to be on the show, you can write us at bookme@tspn.com. Also, after 12 years, we often forget that we still have over 66,000 soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines deployed to Afghanistan. They continue to fight for our national security. Let's not forget them, and remember, if you see a veteran, say thank you. It means more than you know. Thank you again for your service, and I have to say welcome home.
Thank you.
Because I know sometimes you guys didn't hear that.
Yep, it's good to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here.
Thanks.
This is great. Anybody else that needs to contact me, author1, AUTHOR number 1 @live.com. Love to hear from you. And thank you again. We will see you next week on Armed Forces Weekly. Thank you, Patrick.
Thanks, Donna.
Thank you for your service.
This song